Big Boss Jock radio show. Listeners are encouraged to rise up, revolt, confront the U.S. government, liberate the Confederate States of America. Alamo, placed as the capital. Sweet home Alamo, where everyone knows Confederates call home. Analyst Assessment, Episode 17. Before we begin, going to make another mention. Oh yeah, there's a bit of a situation. Court date, May 23rd, 2019. There's a couple hundred pages posted on the internet in reference to the Kennedy assassination and a multitude of other clandestine operations, all the way up to current date. One after another, details, and many are from the 70s. Yes, Big Boss Jock was involved, and still is. Tagged with a stimoceiver, held against will in a stimoceiver program. Some of you might not be familiar with stimoceiver. It's quite intrusive. Have a chip. Well, it's bigger than that. Size of a domino. Placed at the cerebral cortex, between the brain and the skull, with an electrode that's hooked to the box, shoved through to the frontal lobe. 11 months old, left the palm prints and the footprints. And that's enough. Holds up. Continue I do, enslaved in the stimoceiver program. Held by the USDIA. That is the United States Defense Intelligence Agency. They keep me against my will. This court case. They will not acknowledge birth name Earl Hawkins. They're going to prosecute auxiliary name Jean Paul Martineau. And pretend that Earl Hawkins doesn't exist and that Jean Paul is the same as all the people, has the same type of identity, not as a federal agent, nor anything to do with the federal government, United States federal government, as an average citizen would, that never has been involved with the government. It's a bit of an issue. There's a lot of details placed in those pages posted on the internet. How are those acquired, those details? Give that some thought. If they have a conscience, show up. May 23rd, 8:30 in the morning. Shasta Superior Court, Redding, California. Vouch for the Big Boss Jock, Earl Hawkins. Being prosecuted as auxiliary name, Jean Paul Martineau. Person is being held a slave. Receives no pay, no medical benefits, and has a multitude of reasons why some medical attention should be provided. Instead of ignored and further stress with further duress. How much can they put on the heart? That's the objective, it seems. Over 2 years out on the police department, along with the FBI's doorstep. 1 year over there and over a year. 10 months at the FBI. Over a year in front of the police department. Both located in Redding, California. Not in the same office. Different sides of the town. Each office can be found. No one has a problem. Bullet lodged in the backbone. 50-watt megaphone. 5 days. Full volume. 45-minute broadcast. The first one was less than 15. Need to get used to the mic. Oh, Yeah, felt comfortable. Made around a half hour, then 45. 45, going for more. Was going to do a full hour. Oh, they couldn't have that. Well, didn't wake up. They just couldn't understand. That's over there at that police department. Redding, California, where they find the situation amusing. A man out on their doorstep refused. Them concealing the identity, making sure that refused, denied. No health care. They know on their scanners 31 perforations with over a 95% chance it's bullets. Slugs. How they want to call it. Without the casing, the projectile. Pass through the hands. Ho. Funny for everyone. Might be a little uncomfortable to hit the face. 5 times. 5 bullets into the mouth, through the roof, past the cheekbones, including the nasal cavity. And I get what? Disrespected. Oh, upset. A little tired of pleading, please, oh please. Need some health benefits. Oh, quite aware about the bullet? Yeah, they know. Oh, yeah, they do. And there's a multitude of other issues, such as the local sheriff sodomized me, left me hospitalized for 5 days, me with a hand billboard, and after a year and a half of the same billboard, though sometimes opted out for another, 3 different billboards, 2 back to back, I was put back into his custody by the Redding Police Department, who didn't appear in court for the misdemeanor that they charged me for. Illegally took my possessions and refused to acknowledge they have my possessions. Till current date, May 9th, 2019, never once. And asked repeatedly, when will I be given back my possessions? Can I have some documentation? You have a case. They didn't show up. December 22nd in court. Or was it 21st? I don't know. I'll look at the exact date, give it to the listener at a later date. Date, twice, day and pace. They knew. They listened to me. 750 kilohertz. Welcome to the mighty 750. Big Boss Talk radio show. Day in, day out. Live radio. Time to rise up. Kick off the revolution. Liberate the Confederate States of America. Any out there that aren't with the U.S. federal government want to show their support? Appear. Maybe some want to join the posse. Some one of the billboards. Well, it's quite humiliating being sodomized to the level of the esophagus needed to be reconstructed where it hooks to the stomach via my anus. And no one has a problem with any of this. Snicker, doodle. That's Yankee style. Out there on the doorstep. The local police department. Redding, California. Month after month. Then find this amusing. I find this situation abusive. Now, I'd appreciate some assistance. Anyone out there have 100-watt CB? Needs to be AM. Maybe they could pass by. Make known they have the radio. Let me know to remove the cover. Light the eyes up red. They do glow. Oh. Would be quite a show. Have starred in quite a few rodeos. About to open soon. Kick off the revolution. Opt to be part of the solution. Oh, oh, Sweet Alamo, where everyone knows Confederates call home. Analyst assessment. Clip uploaded by NBC News entitled Watch Live, Trump Participates in Immigration and Border Security Roundtable. Posted on April 5, 2019. Airtime 52 minutes 2 seconds. 1 minute 49 seconds through 1 minute 55. Statement made dawn. Commissioner Kevin McClellan of our group, we have spent a lot of time together, and Kevin, you have done a great job, and you have done a great job. We appreciate it. Analyst assessment. And he goes a little faster. I'm making it quite clear. And that's where the trickery is. Because his would go something more like this. Commissioner Kevin McClellan of our group, we have spent a lot of time together, and you have done a great job, and you have done a great job. We appreciate it. And the public just sits there and gets spun. They don't realize that the words have significance. And what's being done is to play on their psyche. And they're being led along by the words you, we, and they're locking in. Making a perception, but that wouldn't be, and it'd be making an impression of what's given through the form of you and we. Meaning preconceived ideas, reinforced. Because it takes that to interpret the word you or to interpret the word we and apply it in the phrase how it's being applied, meaning the interpretation for a whole phrase somehow becomes we. The United States of America is we. You have done a great job. That would be Commissioner Kevin McClellan. He has done a great job. Mention his name again. He has importance. That's why he's being commended. Very rude is to use you. Furthermore, the intent is to program the one who listens. It's a computer-generated dialogue. USDIA placed. Intelligence operators at the keyboards. Population's been duped. About to lose their nation. That's some rubbish when broken down in the words actually spoken. What's being, repeated. What was spoken by the U.S. President. It's not at a high enough intellect level. What happens when the business has someone who is inept? Though it isn't him, the president. That's what the people need to understand. This is computer-generated dialogue. Every program receives a 5-minute lapse. The spontaneous statements are not spontaneous. 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1,000 or any at all. The listener, by interpreting such rubbish, reduces intellect. They're receiving details at the level, English grammar level, 4th, 5th grade. They're not getting past spot runs. Spot runs around the corner. Spot runs further. Spot does a backflip. And learned another trick? Uh-oh, that's very complex. What's next? They're entering into a trance state, thinking in the abstract, associating with the words you, we. We, they're another in the group. You, they're being instructed what to do. Then they go instruct each other what to do. Group in the group of WE. Not me. I'm out here. An observer. Watching a mind-controlled population. I want only God. He helps me with this rhyme. I do give my thanks, along with gratitude for our one only God, Father in heaven. This is the Big Boss Jock, momentarily signing off.